Alright, this video is going to be talking about these retractable fangs. Alright, obviously I showed them in a couple videos. They're definitely cool, novelty, but there are certainly pros and cons. Okay, the biggest pro is that it's the only fangs that are actually interactive, let's say, where they move up and down. Okay, it gives the illusion that they're actually coming out of the mouth. Definitely a lot of setbacks or cons to this. Okay, the first thing is that you can't talk with them in. All right, it's very hard to talk normally. People are definitely gonna know that you got something going on. All right, and reason being is because you have this tongue bar. Okay, how these work basically, you get them in the mail, right? And they're cheap. They're like $10. You can get these on eBay. Just type in retractable fangs. All right, they're super cheap. It's just a cheap plastic. It's just they look good because they're moving. You know what I mean? Um, but anyway, how these work is when you get them in the mail, these two little blocks you see right here, they're square and they're filled with white plastic. Now what you do, it's like a dental, I don't know, some kind of dental plastic or whatever, and it's a molding material. All right, so you heat them up in boiling water or very, very warm water until they turn clear. Okay, then you put them in your mouth appropriately and you bite down, you hold. You're making a mold of your teeth. Okay, so these custom fit your teeth. All right, so that's the other con is that once you do this, not that you'd want to share with anyone, but you're set. You know, once you do this with the thing, that's it. If for some reason someone else wants to use them, I know, kind of gross. It's not going to happen. Um, all right, so that's one thing. But like I said, you can't really talk because the tongue bar is in here. Now, how this works is once this is positioned stably against your teeth, the fang portion and the tongue bar it's all one piece. Okay, and hopefully you can see that where it just moves as one piece. All right, so once this is in your mouth, in your teeth, your tongue moving this bar, and it's hard to hold this all at once. Your tongue, yep, there it is. You're moving it basically up and down with your tongue, okay? And when it's up, it's going to ride above your teeth up into the gums, okay, underneath your top lip. Another con I found is that I was playing with this for probably half an hour or so, just constantly, up and down, just playing with it, looking in the mirror, did the videos, And on my one side, the gums on the top got really sore, all right, from the plastic rubbing. All right, so that's another con is that the more you do it, it's actually going to make your gums and or teeth sore from it. All right, so it's not extremely comfortable. All right, let's see what else. It's fragile, but I didn't break them yet, so that's not really a con because I mean, if something's fragile to begin with, you don't want to necessarily be rough with it. They're cheap. For $10, you get a really quick effect. It's perfect for a video. In real life, to be in front of someone, if you want to spook them, like in my case, I got the funky contacts in, and I just kind of stare at somebody, a stranger, if I go to work, and I give them a weird look, and then I kind of curl my lip a little bit, and the fangs pop out. It really adds something to it. It's pretty cool. But to be like in a party scenario where you're, walking around with people and they're constantly in, it would probably, like I said, it would make your mouth sore and you can't talk with them. Okay, mainly because of this bar. That's why you can't talk. You can't have natural tongue movement, so you end up slurring your words and it doesn't sound right. The other con is that once they're in, let me talk before I put them in. You only have a limited amount of movement with your mouth that you can do without actually seeing either the bars that the fangs are connected on, and or the actual big blocks that are on your teeth. And I'll give you an example of that. All right, so here we are in. Now, they look pretty good like this, all right? Even though I can't talk. They look okay, right? And again, you can move them around, bring them up, or actually when they're up, you can talk on, on some level, but only certain words. Anyway, once you bring them down, they look okay, right? Oh, can't talk with them in. If you bring them down too far, which I'll show you right now, you can see the bars that are connected to the fangs and it looks stupid. You can completely tell that it's fake. Alright. In addition to that, if you open your mouth, you'll see the big blocks that the mold is connected to as well. So you really have to practice a lot in the mirror to know how much movement you have with your mouth. You can't just, big smile, because then you'll see the different parts of it and it won't have the same effect you're looking for. Overall, still pretty cool. So for 10 bucks, I thought it was worth it. But like I said, don't expect to talk very well with these in. You cannot eat any food. You cannot drink anything. So that's why I said, I mean, if you're in a party scenario, what are you doing? You're either drinking, talking, or eating. So unless you're a loner and you're in the corner freaking people out, it's not going to work very good for you. There are different kinds of fangs. From what I've read, if you want something that's just going to pop on and you can be more active with, the Scarecrow brand, I believe it is, they have fangs that just kind of snap on, and they're a lot better for a more active type look. But anyway, you can't replace this with anything else, though. These are pretty cool because they will retract. They'll go up and down, which, like I said, in some scenarios gives you the exact effect you want. All right, so for 10 bucks, it's worth it if you want to play around with them. But anyway, that's all. For the average person, it's a good tone. In other words, it is an off-white because I'm assuming they figure most people who have, or want any kind of adult who wants fake fangs most likely don't have perfectly white teeth. If you're one of the rare people out there who do have pearly whites, it's not going to look right because they are an off-white. They're not like, smoker's yellow or anything, but they are like a very, very light tan. Okay, so it does look more natural than being just white. If you put a different tone, fake tooth, like that, there's other fangs out there, but if they're super white, and you put them on your already fading teeth, then they're not going to look right. And vice versa. If you have really white teeth and you put, an off-white fake tooth on it, you're going to be able to tell. So, that is all. I don't remember the exact brand. Just type in retractable fangs. Google it, eBay, whatever. I got them on eBay. It's very fast shipping. Don't even remember the seller, to be honest. It doesn't make a difference because there's lots of people who sell them. And like I said, anywhere from 10 or 15 bucks. So that's the deal with the fangs. They're just cheapo, plastic, retractable fangs. But like I said, they got the effect that I wanted. So that is all. That's my little review and just giving you some info because a lot of people thought they were cool and they really wanted them. And there you go. If you want them, do a search, buy them, play with them, have fun. Just like I said, if you overdo it, you will have soreness on your gums, okay? Because it's literally just plastic rubbing back and forth. There's no real sharp ends on it, but just the friction and the pressure on your gums, it's going to irritate them. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I thank you very much for watching. Take care.